Hi everyone, welcome back. We're going to get into this book, Doublespeak. I got my glasses today because the glare on the computer is a bit much for me. So welcome. I've been so busy this week. I just put up a coupon code on my Dia-Dash eBay store, which I sell natural skincare products under the brand name Kadesh Garden. So I have various things there. I have clothes, comic books, I'm into collectibles. So whatever you're into, maybe there's something for you. So I'll put a link below. But really interesting how in chapter 2, we're going to go into it a little bit. If you didn't know, doublespeak is a wonderful reference for today's wordplay that's going on. Also, there's a Twilight Zone episode called Wordplay. I think it's in season 1. So check that out, right? Yeah, I'll put these on in 1 minute, so I can see you guys. But anyways, yeah, so please, if you haven't, been acquiring, knowledge of doublespeak, please give this video a listen, because you're going to see with statistics, with all that stuff, like when you go to college, isn't it like funny how they add like certain classes that you don't think that is relevant, and but they tell you you're going to end up using it or whatever. I think it's just to get you to believe that these statistics are gospel, that they cannot be, but in the same sense, it's so convoluted, you start to see that they can skew the numbers, especially the companies that stand to gain the most from it, right guys? Like the big corporations. And I've been showing clips from the movie DOUBLESPEAK. If you've been checking me out, I have so many windows open, but I've been talking about how they used a little bit of doublespeak in this movie, or aka show, based on a very amazing book, and how they had to say, they were promoting OxyContin. This goes back to the Sackler family and the Purdue Pharma. And then, when the case hit court, and because they were in a lot of litigation, because many have died under the chant of, their product was less than 1% addictive. So you say that often enough, even if it doesn't sound rational. America bought the lie. Now they do that with a lot of products, do they not? Do they not have a new product out too? It's kind of like they switched the numbers and said, now certain products are 99% safe and effective. So it's almost like they took a page but just flipped it, and this book is really good. So we're going to go into, where was I thought I had it open. We were on chapter, I think 40 or 41, but it was just like a little quiz that they had for us. So it was basically, having you go into different products in your house to see if you can recognize the doublespeak, the chemicals that they put inside our products. So this is really important, because witchcraft and sorcery, they use words, guys. They need, just think of a witch, like she needs to do an incantation, or when someone's speaking too fast to you, your brain can't keep up. It's like, then they use these words that sound okay. They sound like English, but they're conveying a whole different message, or they're trying to obscure the message entirely. So I'm going to put my blue light blocking glasses on, my reading glasses on. I hope I don't look too dorky for you guys, but it is what it is. We're going to go into some pages, because this was very interesting, and especially in light with what's going on. I'm going to bring that a bit up for you. So we'll start here. The doublespeak of everyday things. I still haven't learned to call directory assistance when I need a telephone number that's not in the telephone book. I want to call information, but then I still use a toothbrush and not an oral hygiene appliance or a home plaque removal instrument. In our everyday lives, we encounter more and more doublespeak, like these examples. Plain thermometers have become digital fever computers, while the bathroom scale have become an ultra-thin microelectric weight sensor. The modern bathroom doesn't have a bathtub, sink, and toilet. It has a body cleaning system. A pedestal lavatory and a water closet tub. Should your water closet tub become clogged, you can always use a hydro, blast force cup, or plunger to clear it. Pacific Gas and Electric Company doesn't send you a monthly bill these days. Now it sends you energy documents. Hallmark doesn't sell greeting cards, but social expression products, while Sony sells blank videotapes that come in the extra standard superior grade. Videotape stores will tell you previously viewed videotapes or used videotapes. You don't buy ink, you buy writing. It's crazy how much they've changed words, right? We'll go to page 44. If you're new on this channel, I've been having to scan the pages in. It's the only way I can get it up on the screen. So if it's a little fuzzy, I have the book as a backup to read it to make sure you see what's good. You can take a screenshot, that way if you don't have the book, you can see what's going on. Definitely love sharing my little mini library with people. So, what was that word we were on page? That's page 44. It says, you don't buy ink, you buy writing fluid. A calendar is now a personal manual database, while a clock is a personal analog temporal displacement monitor. And a used wristwatch is a pre-owned vintage watch classic and estate quality timepiece. Seiko sells personal touch control centers, not wristwatches. What once a vacuum cleaner is now Hoover's Dimension 1000 electronic cleaning machine with Quadraflex agitator. Automobile junkyards have become auto dismantlers and recyclers, and they sell dismantled previously owned parts. Second-hand or used furniture stores now sell second-choice furnishings. Spoiled fruits and vegetables are now distressed produce, while discount stores have become value-oriented stores. When you buy popcorn at the Strand Movie Theater in Madison, Wisconsin, you can go to the Patron Assistance Center, not the refreshment or candy stand. And if you want to exercise, you can always go not to the gym, but to the fitness center. A company advertises that you can place your order by electronic information transfer. What they really mean is that you can telephone your order to them. Undertakers, some of them now call themselves perpetual rest consultants, will sell you an underground condominium or cemetery lot or an eternal condominium or mausoleum. Graves, by the way, are never dug, but are prepared by those specializing in interment excavation. You can even make pre-need arrangements. Beware of the poles. Go down more. Statistical doublespeak is a particularly effective form of doublespeak, since statistics are not likely to be closely scrutinized. Moreover, we need to think that numbers are more concrete, more real than mere words. Quantify something and you give it a precision, a reality it did not have before. We live in an age where people love numbers. Computer printouts are reality. You identify yourself with your social security. That was page 44. Getting real interesting already, guys. Really great book. I'm going to say you identify with your social security number, your American Express MasterCard or Visa number, your driver's license number, your telephone number with area code first, and your zip code. 3 out of 4 doctors recommend something, we are told. A recent poll reveals 52.3% are opposed. Nielsen gives the new television program a 9.2. The movie grossed $122 million. Baseball produces not just athletic contests, but an infinity of statistics, which all true fans love to quote endlessly. Crowds at football and basketball games chant, "We're number one," while the Dow Jones Index measures daily our economic health and well-being. Millions of people legally and illegally play the daily number. Millions of pocket calculators are sold every year. The list can go on to include the body count of Vietnam and the numbers of nuclear warheads and intercontinental ballistic missiles cited as the measure of national security. The computer scientist, the mathematician, the statistician, and the accountant all deal with reality, quote unquote, while the poet, the writer, the wordsmith deal with, well, just words. You may find, however, that the world of numbers is not as accurate as you think it is, especially the world of the public opinion poll. If you believe in public opinion polls, I got a bridge you might like to buy. Depending upon which poll you believe, just before the New Hampshire primary in February 1988, you would have known that Robert Doyle would beat George Bush 35% to 27, Gallup in parentheses, or Dole would win 32% to Bush's 28%, Boston Globe in parentheses, or that Dole and Bush were even at 32% each, ABC-Washington Post in parentheses, or Bush would win 32% to Dole's 30, WBZ-TV in parentheses, or Bush would win 34% to Dole's 30%, CBS-New York Times in parentheses. Of course, George Bush won the actual vote, 38% to 29%. Things weren't much better on the Democratic side either. While most primary polls were correct in identifying Michael Dukakis as the winner, the margin of victory varied from 47% to 38%. Dukakis won with 36% of the vote. That's page 45. And it says, For second place, though, the polls really missed the calls. Really missed the call. 2 had Paul Simon ahead of Richard G. Fart for second place while a third had the two tied and the others had Simon behind by a thin margin. In the actual vote, Simon finished third with 17% of the vote, while Seifert finished second with 20%. No one predicted Seifert's 20% of the vote, not even the surveys of voters leading the polling places after they had voted. This last point should not be overlooked, for it reminds us that no poll is worth anything unless people tell the pollster the truth. Since no pollster can ever know whether or not people are telling the truth, how can we ever be sure of any poll? Good question. Things didn't improve during the presidential campaign either. In August 1988, before the Republican National Convention, 7 polls gave 7 different answers to the question of who was ahead. The CBS New York Times poll had Dukakis leading Bush 50% to 33%. While a poll taken by KRC Communications/Research had Dukakis ahead only 45% to 44%. When the ABC News poll came out, with Bush ahead 49% to 46%, many people in the polling business discounted the results. ABC promptly took another poll 3 days later, which showed Dukakis ahead 55% to 40%. That was more like it, said the other professional poll takers. Even as presented, such polls are deceptive. Any poll has a margin of error inherent in it, but pollsters don't discuss that margin very much. They like their polls to have an air of precision and certainty about them. The KRC polls just mentioned had a margin of error of plus or minus 4%. This means that in the first poll, KRC took Dukakis really had anywhere from 49 to 41%, while Bush had anywhere from 48 to 40%. In other words, Dukakis could have been ahead 49 to 40%, or Bush could have been ahead 48 to 41%. The poll didn't tell you anything. Polls have become important commodities to be sold. Television news programs and newspapers use polls to show that they have the inside information, thus boosting their ratings. And that was page 46, going into page 47. Alright, so I guess I'm going to have to bring up my book just to make sure I got all these, because it's a little fuzzy. I'm doing so good thus far. Let's see where we're at. So I can read it to you guys so you can get every word in. This is very interesting. So 47. So this word would be circulation. Also, the more dramatic or unexpected the results of a poll, the better the chances the poll will be featured prominently on the evening news program. In addition to all this hype and use of poll as news, politicians, corporations, special interest groups, and others have vested interests in the results of particular polls. Such people and groups have been known to design and conduct polls that will produce the results they want. In other words, polls can be and are a source of a lot of doublespeak. How do you read a poll? Actually, it's not all that hard. But the problem is that most poll results don't give you enough information to tell whether the poll is worth anything. In order to evaluate the results of a poll, you need to know the wording of the question or questions asked by the poll taker, when the poll was taken, how many people responded, and how the poll was conducted. Who was polled, how many people were polled, and how they were selected. That's a lot of information, and rarely does a poll ever give you more than just the results. Go down a little bit more so you can see. There we go. In 1967, two members of Congress asked their constituents the following question: do you approve of the recent decision to extend bombing raids in North Vietnam aimed at the strategic supply depots around Hanoi and Haiphong? 65% said yes. When asked, do you believe the U.S. should bomb Hanoi and Haiphong? However, only 14% said yes. In 1973, when Congress was considering articles of impeachment against President Nixon, a Gallup poll asked the question, do you think President Nixon should be impeached and compelled to leave the presidency or not? Only 30% said yes to this question. Then, when they then asked, do you think the president should be tried and removed from office if found guilty? To this, 57% said yes. The most popular form of polling these days is the telephone poll, where a few hundred people are called on the telephone and asked a couple of questions. The results are then broadcast the next day. The two ABC polls mentioned earlier were based on, it's page 47, 48. They were based on telephoning 384 and 382 people respectively. Just remember that the U.S. population is over 245 million. According to Dennis Hack, president of Statistical Consultants, a statistical research company in Lexington, Kentucky, most national surveys are not very accurate means of public opinion. Opinion polls are no more accurate than indicated by their inability to predict Reagan's landslide in 1980 or Truman's win in 1948. The polls were wrong then, and they have been wrong many other times when they tried to measure public opinion. The difference is that with elections, we find out for sure if the polls were wrong. But for non-election opinion polls, there is no day of reckoning. We never know for sure how well surveys measure public opinion when elections are not involved. I don't have much confidence in non-election opinion surveys. The doublespeak of graphs. Just as polls seem to present concrete, specific evidence, so do graphs and charts present information visually in a way that appears unambiguous and dramatically clear. But just as polls leave a lot of necessary information out, so can graphs and charts, resulting in doublespeak. You have to ask a lot of questions if you really want to understand a graph or chart. In 1981, President Reagan went on television to argue that citizens would be paying a lot more in taxes under a Democratic bill than under his bill. To prove his point, he used a chart that appeared to show a dramatic and very big difference between the results of each bill. See Figure 1. But the president's chart was doublespeak because it was deliberately designed to be misleading. Pointing to his chart, President Reagan said, "This red space between the two lines in the tax money that will remain in your pockets if our bill passes, and it's the amount that will leave your," that was page 48. So it has the chart on the next. I will show you the graph that was mentioned in page 48. You can see. So right here says President Reagan's misleading and biased chart compared with a neutral presentation regarding the same tax proposals. So it has the neutral view and then in comparison to what was presented. So they do this a lot. Yes, they do. I'll give you a nice, so you can take a screenshot of that if you really want to study it. That's on page 49 of this book by William Lutz. And at the bottom, it says that will leave your pockets if their bill is passed. On the one hand, you see a genuine and lasting commitment to the future of working Americans. On the other, just another empty promise. That was a pretty dramatic statement, considering that the maximum difference between the two bills after 5 years would have been $217. Interesting. Go to page 50. Trying to get to page 53 to round out the topic of statistics, because everyone had to grudgingly take this stupid class. Oh, I had to drop out, guys. I couldn't take it. It was giving me like an aneurysm. So it's good to know that it wasn't just me. Oh, is something wrong with this page? Oh no. Did it cut me off, guys? How did that happen? How did that happen? That is not good. I can just read you what was on that page, because I'm a little annoyed that happened, but there was just only a tad bit information. So let me read you what was on page 50. It just showed like another graph. It had a figure 2, and I guess this is the figure 3. And on this page 50, it was saying the president's chart showed a deceptively dramatic difference because his chart had no figures on the dollar scale and no numbers for years except 1982 and 1986. The difference in tax payments was exaggerated in the president's chart by squashing or tightening the time scale as much as possible while stretching the dollar scale, starting with an oddly unrounded $2,150 and winding up at $2,400. Thus, the chart had no perspective. Using the proper method for constructing a chart would have meant starting at $0 and going up to the first round number after the highest point in the chart, as done in the neutral view. In figure 1. Using this method, the $217 seems rather small in a total tax bill of $2,385. What happened to the numbers on the president's chart? The chart we sent over to the White House had all the numbers on it, said Marlin Fitzwater. And we're on this page. Then a press secretary in the Treasury Department, senior White House spokesperson David Gergen said, "We took them off. We were trying to get a point across, not the absolute numbers." So much for honesty. In 1988, the Department of Education issued a graph that seemed to prove that there was a direct connection between the rise in elementary and secondary school spending and the decline in scores on the Scholastic Aptitude Test. That was the figure in 2. The Reagan administration had been arguing that spending more money doesn't improve education and may even make it worse. But the chart was doublespeak. First, it used current dollars rather than constant dollars adjusted for inflation, because each year it takes more money to, that's the chart there. Yeah, they're really silly with their doublespeak. So we're going to go to page 52. Hopefully that's all on the up and up. I'm really sorry about that other one, guys. I thought I double checked each page. Goes to show, no matter how thorough you are, you can always make a mistake. That's why I can never be too careful. Got to triple check nowadays. So this is page 52. I'm glad it came out clear. So 52, let's see. Let's start off with that sentence. Because each year it takes more money to buy the same things, charts are supposed to adjust for that increase so the measure of dollars remain constant over the years, illustrated in the chart. If the Department of Education had figured in inflation over the years on the chart, it would have shown that the amount of constant dollars spent on education had increased modestly from 1970 to 1986, as Figure 3 on page 51 shows. Second scores on the Scholastic Aptitude Test go from 400 to 1600, yet the graph used by the Education Department, Figure 2, used a score range of only 800 to 1000. By limiting the range of scores on its graph, the department showed what appeared to be a decline in scores. A more prepared graph, shown in Figure 4, shows a more gradual decline. The Department of Education's presentation is a good example of diagrammatic doublespeak without all the information. So I guess there's the graph there so you can see. So we are on page 53. Wow, we did this pretty quick, guys. This is the last page I'm doing today just because of the topic. But I'm glad I have my book with me because, man, it is not going to be easy to get this to you. Well, I think we did pretty good because there was less pages that were skewed. It's just really hard because of the spine of the book to get it all in. So without all the information you heed in order to understand, you need, they meant to say need, but they put heed, in order to understand the chart, you can be easily misled, which of course was the purpose of the chart. You should always be skeptical whenever you see a graph or chart being used to present information, because these things are nothing more than the visual presentation of statistical information. And as for statistics, remember what Benjamin Disraeli is supposed to have said: there are 3 kinds of lies. Lies, damn lies, and statistics. Oh, I love that. I'm going to have to circle that in my book. So there you go, guys. So that's, I didn't mean to butcher his name. His last name is Disraeli, Benjamin Disraeli. Not sure who this gentleman is, but I'll read the rest of this page since we have it up. In 1977, it's titled More Education Doublespeak, the Houston Chronicle reported that the father of a high school student received the following note from the school principal inviting him to a meeting. Our school's cross-graded, multi-ethnic, individualized learning program is designed to enhance the concept of an open-ended learning program which emphasizes on a continuum of multi-ethnic, academically enriched learning using the identified intellectually gifted child as the agent or director of his own learning. Major emphasis is on cross-graded, multi-ethnic learning, with the main objective being to learn respect for the uniqueness of a person. 2 more paragraphs of similar language followed. As noted in Chapter 1, the doublespeak flows pretty thick in the world of education, where it is used to make what is pretty ordinary, teaching children and running a school, sound very complex and difficult. Doublespeak in this realm can also be used to avoid some harsh realities and to soothe some hurt feelings. The Parkway School District of West St. Louis County, in its report to the community 1987 to 1988, expresses the belief that the success of its students can be maximized through the development of a comprehensive wellness program targeted toward assisting the total community, employees, students, and parents in maintaining optimal wellness. The wellness model is a comprehensive program that includes the physical dimension, fitness and nutrition, the social dimension, the intellectual dimension, and occupational, emotional, and spiritual consideration. I would be surprised if anyone in that school district had the faintest idea what all this verbiage meant, but it sure sounds impressive, doesn't it? That's how they get everyone to pay the big bucks, right? And to go into debt and to just lose their damn minds in this institution. This book is so valuable. I can't get enough of it. We're going to stop on page 53. We'll pick up on it. Such a very powerful book. Very, very affordable, like $20. But you know what? I'm here to help you get through these reading time segments, because you know what? It can be a pain in the butt to read, you know? It's hard to find time. I understand that. Sometimes it's easier just, you got me blabbing away. If you're riding in the car, if you're stuck in traffic, you could just have your earbuds in. I listen to a lot of podcasts and different audios that way if I don't have time, if I'm on the road, because I can't be bothered to listen to what's on the radio, guys. Complete propaganda, complete doublespeak, and now the whole new buzz thing is 99% safe and effective, and it's like, it's so funny because it's like all of them, they say the media is now controlled by BlackRock. That's the corporation. I wouldn't doubt it. They probably get some type of power from some weird black rock that they found, some volcano rock, knowing these people. I wouldn't put anything past them because you're dealing with some really dark entities. And this was such a great show. I've been putting clips showing the doublespeak in this show because how they got OxyContin to catch on so much was they used this mantra of telling people it was less than 1% addictive. And has that held up to be true? You tell me. And so this was a very public case. They continue to be in the public eye, of course. Don't have empathy, has not apologized, just pay their little whatever. But you know what? They're going to pay in this life or the next, because there is a supreme power that will give every man according to his works. I was reading a lot of Psalms 144 yesterday and Psalm 62. Definitely 2 great books to read. But yeah, so they show a lot that They make, evil fair seeming. They make it sound palatable, like it's okay. And just be careful when they put out these new products and they're telling you it's on the flip side, it's this much percent effective and this and that. Be careful and ask yourself, are they using double speak on me? Are they pissing on me and telling me it's raining outside? Most likely, guys. I've been there, done that with these horrible liars, and they will never tell you or admit or whatever. I've been betrayed by pediatricians, you name it. People in the system, so-called people in the matrix, right? Of course, they're all talking a different language. Even in the court system, they're talking a bunch of legalese. It is like the hookah smoking caterpillar in damn Alice in Wonderland, because it's like just talking in riddles all the time, these people. But this book is called Doublespeak: From Revenue Enhancement to Terminal Living: How Government, Business, Advertisers, and Others use language to deceive you. And they really do, guys. They really do, because this is how they can get in your head, swirl things around. Very reminiscent of the book 1984 by George Orwell. Very, very great source. It's so shocking how many of these young kids nowadays have not heard of this book. It should be required reading, because what is up is down with these people. Everybody watched Stranger Things. You didn't know you were in the upside down. Was right is wrong, was wrong is right. I mean, look at the state of the world. Sometimes don't you feel like you're the only one that makes sense in your whole inner circle or in your town or whatever? Sometimes, I feel like that, of course, but it's because we're living in a world of doublespeak. And if you check out that episode, the Twilight episode called Wordplay, that's what that gentleman felt like, completely alone, because everyone was talking backwards and he was the only one that was really making any common sense. And so doublespeak misleads, distorts reality, pretends to communicate. So be aware of this, because this is how people are being taken advantage of and being had. And exactly, these are how these con artists are getting over. They make the bad seem good, avoids or shifts responsibility. A lot of people love talking about narcissism and narcissistic abuse, which I have a lot of experience with. This is one of their native languages. This and lying pretty much is all they know how to do. Makes the negative appear positive. Okay, they do that in a lot of these industries, right, guys? Creates a false verbal map of the world. So really distorting your reality, guys, can make you cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Limits, conceals, corrupts, and even prevents thought. So it actually limits your thought ability. Makes the unpleasant appear attractive or tolerable. Nice. Creates incongruity between reality and what is said or not said. Very, very powerful stuff, guys. So I'll continue to delve into this book. Thank you so much for watching. In between, I'll put other topics too, because there is a lot going on, guys. If you haven't visited me on eBay, check me out. I have all of these amazing natural skincare products for my natural beauties and gents too. I make pomade with sandalwood, with frankincense. I try to take care of everyone so we can get away from all this toxic doublespeak in the cosmetic world, right? When they call stuff, I love these big corporations who are known to put nothing but poison in their stuff. Now they're trying to promote that their stuff is organic and natural. Please make sure you read the ingredients, okay? Because that's why a lot of people are getting sick also, is because of this doublespeak. So I put a sale coupon code up. It's a public one, but it's dash deal. I think it's dash deal 30 or 35. I'm pretty sure it's dash deal 35. I put it public anyway, guys, so 35% off everything on my inventory. And treat yourself to some good healing, I have Cannabism, which is also known as cannabis tea from the leaves. Very, very healing, really great for your body if you have inflammation, pain, you're not feeling well. Made my own natural perfumes. Chuck all your toxic stuff, ladies. This is all essential oils, good for your skin, made the best for my best, right? For my spiritual diamonds and my alpha warriors. So thank you so much for watching. I'll be back soon with another vid, and I hope you have an amazing day.